Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Muy buenas. Welcome to Argentina for race 4 of this first FAI Virtual Wall Gliding Championship 2024. I am Antoine Olvet today with Jean-David, that you know more and more. Jean-David, good evening.
Good evening, Antoine. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. And you?
I'm fine. I'm excited to see this race in Argentina after the three first race we saw in this virtual World Gliding Championship.
Thank you, Jean-David. I'm really excited as well. So today we are racing in Argentina in club class. But yesterday, if you followed the race that we've had in Romania with Aline Simeon, it was quite uh, a crazy finish that we've had in the 15-meter class. I suggest that we have a look at the results from yesterday. Maybe you can talk about it, Jean-David.
Yeah, so as you said, the finish was really different from the other race we saw until now. Everything was reshuffled at the end on the final leg. Finally, the first who arrived is Andri, but he scored finally third place because he has some penalties due to high speed at the starts. And then we have Sean Churchill that scored the second place. And finally, Felix Newberger in this GS3 was the first yesterday evening. So these first three pilots qualified for the Pro Championship with this race of yesterday. And then we have Uwe Melzer at the fourth place and BC Extros, the Polish pilots, at the fifth place. That's it for yesterday. So as you can see, we raised the third qualifiers of this championship. Yesterday, three other pilots qualified for the Pro Championship, who will start at April the 16th. And we are the March 6th, and three other pilots will be qualified tomorrow because there are three servers. So there are three places to take to be qualified. And I think that the pilots start to be a bit stressed of this situation because, as you see, we are in the middle of the qualifiers. There is only 9 places to take in 3 races. So the countdown is on. They need to score to be qualified for the Pro Championship right now.
Yes, indeed. Jean-David, they need to score in the top 3 of any of the remaining qualifying races to be able to access to the Pro Championship that will start mid-April. Really looking forward to the race today. A completely different setup. We are in South America, Argentina, and it's going to be all flatlands. Yesterday we were in Romania with a lot of mountains, hills, and so on. Amazing time with Alin Simeon from the Romanian gliding team. A lot of explanations about gliding in Romania and the conditions there, the wave, the ridges, the thermals, and so on. It was super interesting. If you missed the race, please, after this one, go and have a look. Highlights will be probably available tomorrow or the next day as well for both races. And yeah, today we are back in Argentina, and it's going to be only flatlands. So we chose to go for the club class. There were some world championships a few years ago in club class as well. So that's why we went for that. Jean-David, what does it look like today, the task of the day?
So as you can see, the task is approximately a big triangle. So it is a task of 205 kilometers around the city of Azul, where the pilots are located right now. Yeah, you can see the name on the map right now. So the start line goes to northeast, and we are going for a 26 kilometers leg, and then we back to on the left, on the west, around Olvaria, sorry,
Olvaria.
for approximately 70 kilometers leg length, and then we go back to southeast for 60 kilometers leg length, and then back to north, approaching the airfield for 41 kilometers length for just a small reporting point, and then back to the airfield for 7.6 kilometers, and we will be aligned with the runway 27 on Azul.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, compared to the previous races, today is a triangle, and the pilots will start just above the city of Azul, and they will come back to the airfield of Azul, which is not usual for all races in virtual gliding usually, but that's the main configuration that happens in real life. Usually, pilots take off from one airfield and they come back to the same airfield later in the afternoon after the race. So it really looks like a standard world gliding race that we have today, and we expect two, three, maybe four different type of aircraft in that club class. There's a big change as well compared to the other qualifiers that we've had previously. There was no handicap, no wing loadings limits for the previous races, but today we are in club class, and the difference between the gliders are very big. So we have applied handicaps as per FAI world gliding rules, world gliding championship rules. So today they will all start in regatta start again, but the first one who will cross the line will not automatically be the one who will qualify to the Pro Championship and the one who will win the day. We will have to wait a few minutes to compare with the handicaps of each glider and so on. So the highest handicap is the ASW 20, then probably the LS4, and the Cirrus is just below. So we expect to have the ASW 20 crossing the line first. If that's not this one, then we can probably assume that if an LS4 crosses the line first, he will win the day. That's almost guaranteed. So
Yeah.
that's the small change that we have for today. And what's the weather like today, Jean-David, in this task?
So tonight we have, as you can see, a ceiling about 1,500 meters. So there are plenty of cumuluses. They are not that big, but it's great for tonight races. The thermal looks good between average, between moderate climb rate and a strong climb rate, I have to say. And the wind pushes from the southwest. It is higher value than yesterday, between 25 and 30 kilometers per hour approximately. So a typical weather from the flatlands. I don't know if the ceiling, etc., is typical from this region, but it's typical from a flatland. So that's what we are facing. You speak about the difference between the standard class and the club class, etc. But tonight we have also normal rules for the start and the finish that do not change. So tonight the pilots need to cross the start line below 170 kilometers per hour and below 1,400 meters. That's the rules. And when they are on the arrival, they need to be above 180 meters from the sea level. So it is approximately the level of the ground plus a few
Plus 30 meters
30 meters.
approximately.
Yeah, that's the same as usual.
Yeah, exactly, Jean-David. So the ceiling will be about 1,600, 1,700 meters above sea level. So it's approximately 1,500 meters above ground level. Today in Argentina, the ground is at 100 to 200 meters there above mean sea level. So that you can understand what it is and what it will look like now in the sky. I believe we'll have some pretty good thermals for the pilots today, and the gliders are super light in that club class, so they will be able to climb very fast. I think climbing will be the key for the day, and then they just need to try to find the best energy lines to go to the turn points as soon as they can. And then the finish glide, I think, is going to be spectacular. And you will see that there is quite some margin between the finish line and the runway. But we did some testing, obviously, before the race, and that if they cross it at 180 meters above mean sea level, so 30 meters above, they can still land straight ahead even if they are at maximum glide ratio of about 100 kilometers per hour. So they can do either a low energy approach or very high energy approach, and they can really land straight ahead without any problem. Maybe we can jump into the 3D view now to enjoy a little bit the view before the start of this race 4 in the qualifiers of the first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship, Jean-David.
Yes, and we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you are on, if you're watching us on one of these media, you can send us a message just to say hello. As Captain Panawan just say, he said hello. He was here yesterday, so he follows us very, very oftenly. Andrew John is here tonight also, so please send us a message just to say hello or to support your favorite country, your favorite pilot, to ask us about a small briefing or a small recap of what has been done until the beginning of the race. Feel free to interact with us. We are super happy to see your message and to get you the response. And do not forget to subscribe on Twitch. If you have your Prime account, you can subscribe for free because you have one token to give to someone. And if you appreciate our work, it will be very rewarding for us to have this subscription. So yes, feel free to give it to us. This reward will be used to get this live better, to get the animation better. So it's kind of an investment for you because if you are watching us 2 hours long each night, it will be very, very interesting as an investment. So we are here in the 3D view right now, just above me. As we can see, the weather looks good. I hope that we will have in real life in France this type of weather because it is not that great in the previous weeks, and I'm looking forward for the summer to fly. How many pilots do we have connected tonight? I can see 91 on the server on the 2D view. So again, a great day for flying in virtual life. A lot of pilots are connected. I think, as usual, they will start very spread on the start line just to be safe, because with the 91 pilots connected, it is very, very dangerous to be grouped. So they need to give more space between them. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly, Jean-David. It's key to be widely spread on the line and to try to take your own decisions first and to try to make a very safe start to start with, because yeah, a lot of gliders already very close to the start line. They are trying the first few thermals that they can catch right now.
mhm.
It was an easy setup to just jump in the glider and start the flight. So now they're just discovering the atmosphere and what the thermals look like. We should have a start in about 3 minutes from now, in just very close to the city of Azul, right here. We have Robin Martinus. I've seen Andrei from Ukraine, who qualified yesterday, who is flying as well today. So that's really great. I've seen 269, Donna Pierluigi, and I saw Sean Churchill, who qualified already for the Pro Championship. So that's great. So congratulations, Andrei, because he arrived first yesterday, but he got more than 1 minute of penalty due
Yeah.
to a start max start speed that was way above the maximum limits. So he got plenty of penalty, but he still managed to make the top three and to qualify to the Pro Championship. So congratulations to him. We are glad to have a Ukrainian pilot in the Pro Championship. We see one big gaggle just next to the line in the middle of the track for leg one, and some of them are spread. I think Tango Papa on the right side is well placed as well under a good cumulus. He's alone, and you can see the airfield just between the line and Tango Papa on the right. You can see the airfield where the pilots will land, and you can see the finish line as well just below the logo FAI Virtual Gliding right now. And you will see that you can see that the line is not at the threshold, but a little bit before, like a few hundred meters before. And if they reach that at 180 meters, as we said, they can land straight ahead without any problem on runway 27. So the pilots are getting ready right now, and we expect the start in a few seconds from now.
Yeah, it is a key moment for them because there is just 1 to 3 thermal before the line to get the good amount of energy to cross it at the right speed, at the right altitude. It shouldn't be very, very easy tonight compared to the other days. All pilots are getting ready. 25 seconds before the start open.
That's starting to be interesting.
Mhm.
Everyone is gathering now, just around that start line in Azul. We are in Argentina for race 4 of the World Championship. 3, 2, 1, go! The race is on in Azul, Argentina. Welcome for race 4 in the flatlands. Amazing. So we have a big gaggle, a big group going straight ahead on the track. One big cumulus just afterwards. They started at maximum 1,400 meters QNH, and the ceiling is approximately 300 meters above them right now. So they can probably try to glide towards a few for a few kilometers before taking a thermal. I think they will stop at around 900 or 800 meters QNH to try to climb into a big and nice thermal. Let's see what we get in a few minutes. I see Eco Mike on the right,
Mhm.
trying another way, another path, and we have Juliet Tango and GVH to the left as well. Very interesting view, Jean-David.
Yeah, the French pilot tonight push very hard. We have Philippe Plata leading the center group. We have Eco Mike, Filou on the right also. Two different paths, but Jornen, the Belgian pilot, is also well placed. Good start. Vitor Drozak following the Polish pilot. He's high.
Nice pull up. Be careful with Whiskey Romeo, but that's nice. I think there is a lot of energy in the air tonight.
Mm-mm.
I didn't try the race. I tried it in remember in Yunnan, and I try the conditions, but I didn't try at all the race yet. So, but I know we can expect good thermals. I see a good cloud street. It seems
Yeah,
like there is
yeah,
only one very good cloud street going to the turn
I
point.
saw it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
perfect. Yeah,
yeah.
just
That's
like with the path.
Yeah, they are over cloud street, so you can see that the wind is blowing from behind. That's really a good cloud street, just on the wind side. So that's really good. That's what it looks like in real life as well. So that's really good to see.
Filou, Eco Mike EM on the right have the cloud streets too, so it is a good option for him. On the left, it is weaker, I have to say, because this is between two lines. Yeah, Eco Mike is well placed too. He has plenty of cumuluses in front of him. He's alone, so he's free to center the thermal as he wants, with the speed and the intensity of the turn as he wants.
That's really interesting because we can see already some pilots, including Jeroen Jenen and Frank Schwetzfeger,
Mm.
stopped behind under one of the first clouds. I've seen Witold Rozak, Philippe Plata, and so on, just keeping going like this,
Yeah.
not stopping at all. And I think I would not stop as well because they are way too close to the ceiling right now, and I would stop later on and try to get a good one. But maybe the clouds are not that good in front of them, so we will
Mm.
see what's the best plan. I would continue like the big pack here in front, I believe.
And actually, it also depends on what they feel, what they felt before the start, because yesterday we saw that the pilots didn't catch the thermal for a long time.
Yeah,
We have to say that yesterday the pilots climbed for 400 or 500 meters maximum, but after that they leave the thermal, maybe because the climb speed decreased too quickly, and they decide to leave. So if you see that type of behavior in the thermal, then when you are racing, you know that you will be able to gain 4 to 500 meters per thermal. So if you have that altitude between you and the ceiling, you try it if you have a good thermal.
yeah.
But yeah, I think they are confident on the different thermals they have to see.
Yeah, exactly. I think there will be much more good thermals compared to yesterday. We could see indeed that it was quite difficult sometimes to get into the thermal and stay into the good part of the thermal. I think today is very different in flatlands as well. It's quite different from what we can see sometimes in the mountains. So I expect it to be a bit more stable for the pilots. They are not fully loaded as well with hundreds of liters of water, so it's going to be much easier for them to climb, much more maneuverability for the gliders as well. So it's going to be a good and easy race, and I think they will really enjoy it. We can see already PLT, Philippe Plata and TKM, Tim Madsen from Denmark in front and trying to get a good one here.
And we have already an important information because yesterday Artur Dziuk, the Polish pilot, was ranked 6th, and tonight he already landed out. He went back.
Really?
Yeah, he went back to the airfield of Azul. He landed there, and he is right now at the altitude of the ground, and he stopped the flight.
Okay, so maybe he had an issue
Yeah, maybe an
at
issue.
home or with his setup or whatever.
So Arthur
Mm.
won't be able to race tonight. Maybe he will have another chance to qualify. Yes, it's not great for him.
Yeah,
Shit happens.
yeah, sometimes. Looks like a good one with Vitor Rozak and Philippe Plata here in the ASW20. And apparently, almost everyone is flying the ASW20 tonight. Only very few pilots with the Cirrus Standard or the LS4. So we will see what happens and who's leading, which type of gliders are leading. Okay, so Vitali is in the LS4
Yeah,
tonight. Interesting. And Alpha Lima 1, the other Ukrainian pilot who qualified yesterday, is in the SW20. Very good view. Maybe, yes, you can keep with a good close-up like this as well, Timothée, if you want. That's really good to follow everyone here. So we are going to turn point one. The wind is pushing the pilots towards turn point one, and that's why they are stopping as well, because there is only like 25 kilometers to turn point one. So they want to climb as high as they can before turning the point, because then they're going to have some headwind for the race or for the rest of the task. So that's the time to enjoy a bit of downwind for now.
and Joran Jenen is
Good
above
climb. Huh?
is above everyone, and the average climb speed looks great. So the value you can see on your screen right now, we have to say it again. It's not the average value; it's the instant vario value. So when they are pulling up the value, this value will rise automatically. But when they are in a climb like that, looking at them for a minute, we can calculate approximately the average climb speed, and here it is good. Yeah, 2, 3 looks really good. The thermal tonight are promising, really promising. Jeroen Jenen know that he's going fast, leaving this thermal 220 kilometers per hour. I think that the VNA of the glider is not that above 220 kilometers. I don't know. 230 right now.
Yeah, it's
Pushing hard.
250, but that's ground speed. Don't forget about
Oh
it.
yeah,
So they are flying with approximately 25 kilometers less than that, but that's still quite fast to fly at 200 kph in club class,
obviously.
actually.
Yeah, great strategy. I think that Andre is looking for a thermal. I saw by far that he was turning the turn point, but no, he's trying something. A few cumuluses before the turn point. As you said, it is a great advantage to climb there and to be on the ceiling just before turning to turn point. To use these downwind components to help going to the turn point and not losing too much time. After this turn point, after turn point one, they will go to west for 70 kilometers. So it is a longer leg, obviously, and with a headwind, maybe more difficult. Yeah, we can see that the main part of the pilots stopped just before. And very important information, Joran, he knows that he's well placed. He looks to be the first right now, so he decided to cycle a bit just to gain a few meters, to be very on top of the ceiling, just to have the maximum potential energy to turn the turn point one. He's maximizing his race just because he knows that he's well placed. This is very, very clever.
Yeah. He's flying very well. We see Andre as well, who took some very good options so far. And we have the first pilot reaching the turn point one with Witold Rozak not far from. That's a good cloud street. Really, that's a really good
Yeah,
cloud
yeah.
street that we have in front of us. Echo Bravo Mike will be the first one to turn this turn point one. Eric Martens
From Norway with Yanis Teteris.
They are turning turn point one right now. Show Estacion, 109 meters above ground level. This one. Alex Atkinson in the ASW20, TK7, and Yoronian and JJJ is now there with his compatriot team in the Tango Tango. Kilo Zulu Alpha joining in. Mike 31, Zulu Uniform Zulu, X-Ray Alpha, TKM and PLT. Well done. So where are we going now? We are going to turn point two called Lag Bechica Lagu. I think it's a small lake. No, don't seem that it's a lake.
Yes,
From
it
above.
is. It is.
We will see. We will see. We will see that. Yeah, indeed, looks like a lake. Laguna Blanca Chica. Muy bien, muy bien. Muy cerca de Olavarría. Olavarría. Muy bien.
If you say so.
Bienvenido.
Okay, so maybe Timothy, you can show us the average speeds between the start line and the first turn point, just to have an idea. Yeah, we are about 152 kilometers per hour to 140 kilometers per hour. So here, I think that the pilots are ranked depending on the handicap also, because
I think so.
in another way, it will be decreasing, the average speed will be decreasing. And here we can see that it is not. So obviously the handicaps are taken into account in this ranked.
But I think that's the handicaps from Condor and not the actual handicaps from Condor Club. So we need to be careful with that, because that will not be at 100% correct. So we will need to check after the race the actual results on Condor.club, and tomorrow we'll get the official results for sure. Let's get back to the race now. So the pilots are flying towards turn point two. It went quite fast for this first leg, so that's good. 150 kph. If they can keep that, that would be awesome. We expect around 120 kph for the leaders, or at least the majority of the pilots tonight. We will see how fast they can go with this type of weather conditions tonight.
Yeah, during the 2 or 3 first thermal, we saw really great average speed of climbing. So looks to be a good day. They are very fast, and again we are, I've lost the turn point two, but he's just ahead. You can see the name on top of the screen right now. So we are straight to it, and again we have a lot of cumuluses that looks very, very promising. and well aligned with the turn point. So when you are racing like that, the choice is quite obvious. You have just a small decision to take. Take the cumulus on the right or on the left, depending on its shape. But here you can see that on your path, on your route to 10.2, there is plenty of choice with small deviation of route. So that's really great. Yesterday we saw that the pilots, to avoid the mountains, they need to make a big deviation. And it was a very key moment of the race because some pilots lost 5 to 10 places on the final ranking. But
Yeah.
tonight it is more straight ahead.
Yeah, exactly. That was a big key point yesterday after turn point 3 to go to turn point 4. They need to cross some mountain chains and they were just stuck behind because no one was just taking their time to climb in the sphere mode and so on. So that was a kind of let's not say it was a mess, but it was really difficult for the pilots, at least to manage to climb and to be able to fly safely over those mountains. It was not easy at all.
And we are speaking about the top pilots, the top contenders in the world. So if it's difficult for them, it was difficult. No doubt
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are with Donapia Luigi. Donapia Luigi, I think he's flying safe because he's already qualified for the Pro Championship. He qualified with Marcin May and François Streifer during the first race, who took place in China. It was a great day. So yeah, we'll follow him. I think he's training for the Pro Championship just to learn more about his opponents, the other competitors. They fly with them, and he's training right now, getting his strategy better and better, knowing who to follow during the different competitions. Depending on the experience of each pilot, you have to know who to follow, if they are local, if they are not, if they fly often in this region or not. We didn't saw Romanian pilots yesterday, but it would have been very interesting to see if Romanian pilots managed the race better than the others. Because yesterday we were with Aline, who explained a bit how to fly in this region, and that was so funny to see his face reaction when he saw pilots getting maybe too low on the final glide. He stressed out, and we saw his fear in his eyes during the live.
Exactly, Jean-David. It would have been quite funny to have a Romanian pilot flying the race and winning it because he knows the area. I think if Aline was flying the race, he would have probably won this one because the arrival was so difficult. If you don't know the landscape, it's difficult to prepare the race and so on because the pilots don't have a lot of time to prepare the race. They really discover it only 2 hours before the start of the servers, so it's not easy to prepare it as well and to
Yes.
discover an area. So yeah, a bit tricky. Much easier to fly for them tonight in Argentina, in flatlands and so on. You don't have interactions from the mountains. You don't have little hills making it more difficult and so on. So that's much easier in flatlands.
Obviously. And if you are following us on YouTube or Twitch, so we are live. And don't forget to send us a message just to have some news about the pilots you support. We can display some information about the altitude, the speed of the variometers, the distance flown, etc. So don't forget to ask us if you support one of the pilots, or just if you want to say hello and say that you are here. Just send us a message. Ah,
Let's
that
go
happened.
back to the view.
So we can make a small recap of the start of this race. We've flown approximately, I saw 40 kilometers on the 205 kilometers race.
Yeah.
The pilot flown from the start, which is approximately in the middle of this map, to turn point 1 in northeast. It was pretty fast, between 150 kilometers to 135 kilometers for the top 10. And they turned to turn point 1. Now they are facing a bit of a headwind to go to turn point 2, which is on the left, so facing west. And the wind is relatively important, between 25 and 30, 35, depending on the altitude. So this leg will be maybe longer, they will be slower in this part of the race than previously. So as you can see, the pilots are following quite the same path. We have some exceptions, obviously, but I think it corresponds to the different cloud street we saw on the 3D view. Very, very logical decision. The key moments for the pilot tonight will be to choose the right thermal. Don't be impressed by a high value, because tonight we saw great average speed climbing. So make strong decisions, take the good ones, and that's how you will be able to make great average speed on the overall task. We can see that PLT Philippe Lata on the left, the French pilot, is leading, just speaking about the distance flown right now, because we are on 2D view. Team TT, the Belgian pilot, is also well placed just behind. And on top we have Echo Bravo Mike. Echo Bravo Mike, I don't know his name. I will find it. So Echo Bravo Mike is Eric Martins from Norway. Actually, he raced just one race. Yeah, exactly. And we saw his name on the beginning of this race, so maybe he's trying something that works. Oh, they are getting low. And Philippe Lata ahead, and team does not look that high compared to Eric.
Yeah, I can see quite a lot of shadow on the ground with quite a lot of cumuluses. They don't look really good, but I think the one on the right where it's going is maybe better. There are a lot of cumuluses here. They need to pick the good one to climb higher. Just to have a look behind those guys. How high are they? Okay, so Jeroen Jenen stopped with Witold Rozak. They both stopped here. Very big contenders for the win. TKM, Tim Madsen, decided to continue towards turn point 2. Very interesting. But there are a lot of options, a lot of possibilities. They need to find the best thermals, and they don't need to go too low. The lower you go, the more risk you are taking, and the more chances you have to outland. So you need to be careful in your choices. But if you go low as well, you can only climb just a few times. And maybe get the best thermals of the day. You need to manage the risk today to get a very good results. It's one-shot races that we have. You just need to be in the top 3 of one of those qualifying races to win. So probably a lot of pilots will take a lot of risk today to try to qualify to the Pro Championship. Jeroen flying very close to the clouds here and leaving at 1,740 meters above mean sea level. So really high. That's good.
Yeah.
He can keep going. He will for sure be above PLT and Delta Echo Tango. Even if they get a really good climb now, he will reach them above. So that's good.
Exactly.
That's really a key moment now for the pilots here. Tango Tango and PLT. Really a key moment. And they need to find a good one right now. Now it's not enough for him, so he wants to continue. But the lower you go as well, the smaller will be the thermal, and it's not going to be as good as what you may expect and what you want. Overpilot stopped. Tim Madsen is quite high.
Yeah, there is multiple advantages to stay high because with a strong wind, the thermal does not climb straight if you join us and discover our flying gliders. So the thermal just deviates with the wind. In that type of weather, you have to think about the wind, where it comes from, and then you can calculate or estimate the deviation of the thermal. And it's easier when you are high because you maximize the probabilities that the thermal is just below the cloud and you don't have to look for it and spend too much time searching it. And that's the time you don't lose. You maximize your average speed on the task. That's why Johan and the other pilots that stopped before and are high have an advantage right now. But that does not mean that Philippe and the other and Team Madsen right now are in bad position. Maybe they will find a strong thermal and will climb as fast as the others. And maybe in a few minutes they will be at the same position approximately. But we will see. It will be more difficult than for example, Joshua Arndt, the Dutch pilot, the German pilot, sorry.
German pilots, yeah.
Altitude 1,500 meters approximately, speed 150 kilometers. Is good. 50 kilometers flown.
Yeah, let's keep looking at those pilots that are flying low for
The map
now.
energy.
I wanted to have a look at the previous winners of the races, the one who qualified through the animations that we have, but we'll have a look later on because it looks like a key moment to me. A lot of pilots, very good pilots, are low and need to climb right now to get to turn point 2. It's not easy with the wind blowing in front of them.
Philippe Plata is trying something. He's circling.
Yeah, and other pilots are joining. I see
Obviously.
269, Romeo Mike Yankee. Let's see. That's a good pull. Looks at least decent.
Oh,
Maybe not the best
yeah,
one, but looks very decent for
it looks great.
his altitude at least. Okay, looks like a stable one for him. That's good.
Yeah. You need to take his time, just center it very well, manage to have a constant value all along the cycle.
Wow, and you can see
Extremely slow.
Jeroen Jennen, Vitol Rozak, they are so high compared to them. They stopped earlier, they didn't take any risk, and they didn't have to go left, right, left, right, left, right, trying every single cumulus because they were low. Just went straight to catch up Philippe Plata and the guys below. Uh, just looking at when would they stop and try to climb, and it's much easier to fly like this indeed. You should let a few pilots ahead and try to catch them up after a certain amount of time. That's a
And
good 3D view.
if you are flying gliders but not on cross country or in competition, you have to know that you have different flying behaviors when you are at different altitudes. At least in France, we speak about 3 stages. You defined it before flying. You define some altitudes. The first one is the highest one, where you can go very, very fast and you just select the best thermals. Then just below you have the stage where you take not the best thermal, but at least the average of the day, and you fly just a bit slower. And finally, you have the altitude you don't have to go below, because below that altitude, you need to take anything you find, because you need to climb and go slower, because with going slower you will lose less altitude. You will be slower on the average task, but you will lose fewer meters, and each meter in this stage is important. So it is very, very different strategies and very different mindsets when you are flying a race to be low. So in Condor there is less risk to land out, etc. But in real life it is much more impressive. And as a competitor in real life or in Condor, you need to apply this strategy, and they apply it for sure right now.
Yeah, exactly, Jean-David. And we've seen something very interesting. We've seen the circles from the pilots with the wind and how much they would deviate when climbing. Just a few kilometers behind this position. We've seen that quite clearly with the pilots really drifting with the wind. So that was really interesting for the viewers as well to understand how it works. Yeah, you can see it a little bit here. Thank you, Timothée. You are really drifting with the easy, but the thermals are strong and quite good. You can see quite some good lifts. So that's not too bad. Uh, where is PLT in this one? Because he was climbing in this one. Is he? Did he stay?
Looking for
Oh
PLT.
yeah, yeah. I see 269. So he's
Oh,
in
he's
this below and he's leaving now. Yeah, I think it's a difficult situation to be in when you are finding the thermal and you see just everyone joining you, but above, just above, and it's difficult in your head because you're like, I gave them something, and now I'm not climbing as good as them, and it's really frustrating actually.
And I think that on the left we have some pilots that didn't stop where Philippe Lata stopped.
Yeah.
So we have Tim Madsen, TKM, we have JJJ. So
Yeah.
JJJ is a Lithuanian pilot, Gvidas.
Yeah, and you could see two different, very clear options between the pilots who are flying low and the ones who just stopped and were high. The ones flying high, they went straight to turn point two, even if there are no cumuluses. They have plenty of energy to manage and to go far enough to find something else, and the others they need to take a detour again and so on. So I think you see PLT he has to do that as well. He needs to make a detour once again, a big deviation, because he didn't climb enough in the previous one. It would have been much better to accept that he was lower, to continue climbing in this one if it was enough, and then to continue straight ahead to turn point two. Now it's a big detour again, and it's going to cost him quite some time. So we will see if he can manage to catch up the leaders that are Witold Rozak and Jeroen Yenen for now, with Joshua Hart, Josh Meyers back in the game as well. So we will see.
Yeah,
We will
we
see.
we oftenly speak about Philippe Lata, but other top contenders did the same. We
Yeah.
see right now Tim Madsen and Jormo Karjalainen very low, so it is really difficult, I guess, to take the good decision. Andrei is just above me right here.
Yeah.
Today he qualified, so he is a good pilot. There is no doubt. But tonight he made some other decisions than Jornen and the others, and he's
Yeah, but the race is still very long. Everyone can fall in a hole, but a hole like this it costs you almost 20 minutes in a race. So you don't. The best is not to fall into any hole and to be able to stay high, to manage your altitude and your energy. I think the pilots are quite often flying way too fast, and maybe the conditions were really super good for the first leg. We could see that Cloud Street going straight to turn point one, but now it has changed. Going to turn point two, you have some headwind, and the Cloud Streets are not there anymore. You need to go left and right, so it's not the same flights. You need to adapt yourself again. So that's everyone can fall and can be back in the game as well. The race is still long, but we can see already a few mistakes in the Jean David.
Yes, and I was looking for the name of Papa 85 right now, Peter Papix, because he's a Belgian pilot, and we didn't see him oftenly during the previous races. So he flown
Okay.
with us during in China and in Romania. So he tried at least two times to qualify, and tonight he's flying very well. We hope the best for him, for the Belgian pilots to qualify. Maybe he will join his compatriot JJJ, who is flying well. So maybe they are speaking together. We don't know. They
Ah,
are able to create teams to train together if they know themselves during the other season that the virtual World Gliding Championship. So maybe they have a strategy together between the Belgian pilots, and they will try to score together. Would be beautiful.
yeah, Jean David, I'm taking some time to thank all the viewers and people watching us tonight. I see more and more people connecting to Twitch, to YouTube, Facebook. If you are in your gliding club watching with your friends or somewhere else, you can still send us a picture of yourself watching the live like this, and we'll repost it or reshare on Instagram and over social medias. It's quite cool to do. We I was in Sweden 2 years ago for the Sailplane Grand Prix. Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix was taking place at the same time, and every evening you've had the virtual races taking place after the real ones, and we were all watching the virtual race. So we were you could see only maybe a few people connected, but we were actually 30 for one screen watching. So if you're doing the same in your gliding club, you can send us that saying I to all our Argentinian friends watching as well the race tonight in their country in Azul. Great city. We'll talk about Azul later on as well, but that's a nice city in the south of Buenos Aires. I think about 300 kilometers south of Buenos Aires, and around 60,000 people living there in Azul and the area around. Some beautiful parks and nature landscape around the city and in the region. So that's quite a cool atmosphere to fly on tonight. So we are back in the race. We are still going to turn point two, and it seems a little bit more difficult for some of the pilots. Some have fallen into some holes and are flying really low right now at around 500 meters above ground level. But the thermals are there, they are all alive, and they can climb much higher. The thermals are good, so they need to manage properly their energy and take the good risk to then try to get the lead into the race.
Yeah, we
Josh,
have Witold Rozak, we have Peter, and we have Joshua Ernst
yeah,
ahead and above the other pilots in his thermal. Just
I,
behind, yeah, we have Johan Janen,
yeah, he
bit
stopped.
higher.
Yeah, he stopped into a good one, I believe, because this cloud seems a little bit higher than the other, and that's a good sign to see that the thermal is stronger as well. If the ceiling is a little bit higher, so that's I think a good option to make. He will just join Witold Rozak without taking any risk, and he will be at least at the same level. So that's a good flying from him so far.
Mhm. But interesting also to see the pilots who were low just a few minutes ago that they are following the leaders because we can see Philippe Lata, Eco Mike and the others. TKM was in the right. I saw. So they didn't find the right thermal to climb because they didn't stay in it. They are trying, and maybe one time they will find the thermal that makes us able to climb to the ceiling and be comfortable for the following climbs. Vito Drozak and Joran are pushing. They are fighting for the lead.
Yeah, but you know, it's not an easy place to be right now because you're still really far from the finish glide, and when you are the first one like this in the thermals, in thermal conditions without ridges and so on, you can really quickly fall into a hole like Philippe Plata and 269 and the others did. So you're taking a risk by taking the lead, and it's quite early to take the lead. So I think that's why Jeroen stopped earlier in another thermal to let the group, the leading group, fly a little bit ahead to have some options open. And you see, he's not taking any risk. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's the same.
This cloud is not good, but he doesn't want to go, and I think that's the way to go. Because if he stops in a bad one, the others below they will not stop, so they will continue, and then he will just continue behind them, but higher. So he will have all the options still open. I think it's a very strategic and move to make. Uh, you need to use all your strategies and tactics available to you to be able to win a day, and I think that's a good option to make from your own. Philippe Plata is not dead, climbing at 750 meters.
Thank you, Tim, for this 2D view, the overall view of the race right now. So maybe a little recap until now. So the race takes place in Argentina. We are on qualifiers number 4 on this first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship on 2024. The pilots take off from Azul in the middle of the map right now, just above the Antoine's head. And then they went to the turn point 1 on northeast, and now they are approximately on the middle of the second leg. So the second leg is 70 kilometers long, so they have 35 kilometers to go to turn point 2, which is a small lake we can see on the left of the city of Olavaria. And then we will be back to the south for approximately a great triangle. So the pilots are more grouped than a few minutes ago, just after the turn point 1. They are following the different energy lines, so the cumuluses are aligned on the track, and they try to find the best way to take the advantage of each cumulus to take a bit of potential energy, and then going to the turn point. So we are here. The blue cylinder on top of your screen right now is the turn point they are facing, they are going. On the left, we can see the city of Olavaria, and the pilots need to manage their flight to go to turn point 2, taking the cumuluses, and there are plenty of them until the turn point. Approximately 5 to 6 cumulus that are looking great to turn point 2. That looks great for the pilots right now. Leading the race at the moment, estimating by only the potential energy, because we are flying with club class. So the club class has handicaps. So the first pilot is not necessarily the first pilot at the final ranking when we apply the different handicaps. But Joran Jenen, we can see on the middle of your screen, is well placed, as well as Witold Rozak, WRW. And just below we have, is it DC1 or DG1? No, it's DC1. So DC1 is, oh yes, DC1, Davis Chapins from the United States. Oh, very interesting, because we have, so another information is that we have a few servers to fly this way, exactly 3 servers. And we design a server at 1 UTC. So
Yeah,
this
1
is
a.m.
1
Yeah.
a.m. UTC. So during the nights, and we expect that the pilot in America, North or South America, fly on this server. But we have an American pilot, Davis. Welcome, Davis, to the European time. I have to say,
Yeah, quite a lot of pilots are trying to fly this
obviously.
European server, because it's the biggest one, and the more pilots you have, the bigger the options are. If you see the pilots in front of you flying, it's better to be 100 than to be 20 on one server. You get more chances to fly faster. Sometimes the bigger the better in
Yeah,
Condor
obviously.
and in gliding. So that's why some pilots are trying to fly this task at this time. And also in Asia, in Japan, sometimes they come and then they fly, but it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 a.m. right now in
Yeah,
China,
it's difficult.
in China or Japan. So it's quite difficult for them to fly overnight. But sometimes they do it to be able to qualify or to fly with 100 other pilots, because on their servers they don't have the opportunity to do that, and to fly with 100 pilots from the Asia. So they join.
Yeah, so if you are watching us right now and if you want to join our races, feel free to go to Condor Club on internet or on our website, and just learn a bit about the races, how to connect, how to be able to join a server with us, and you will be able to fly with pilots from every country: Lithuania, Belgium, Poland, the United States, Japan, Australia, France, Germany, Canada, etc., etc., depending on the server you are flying. So please, if you just like what we do, and if you like flying in Condor, join us. If you just learn how to fly cross-country flying, it will be fun. If you trying to improve your flying in real life, it will be also very important to do the flying with this type of world-class pilots. You will learn a lot with Condor. And if you want to pretend to be the next world champion, then you just have to fly and to fly well to beat these guys.
Thank you, Jean-David, for the
Back in the
reminder.
race, yeah, with Bisek.
Bisset Kos, who flew the World Final in 2023, the Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix World Final.
Mhm.
He needs to qualify. Maybe we can have a look. We are more than halfway through leg 2 between turn point 1 and turn point 2. Maybe we can have a look back, Timothée, at the results from the first 3 races. From so so the pilots who qualified already to the Pro Championship. So race 1 was in Yunnan, China, sorry, in Yunnan. We've had Marcin May, Donna Pierluigi, and François Seifert who qualified on race 1. Race 2 was in South Africa, in Kimberley, with Ryan Wood, who raced really well on the second server at 1 a.m., I think. Then Zoltán Varga from Hungary, who qualifies for the first time to Pro Championship and to let's say a more direct contest, a more challenging contest. We have then Ronnie Lindell from Sweden, who is quite used to flying virtual sailplane Grand Prix. Felix Newberger, we've seen him on some races last year as well during the World Series. I can remember that. Sean Churchill competed to the virtual sailplane Grand Prix World Final. He's a top pilot. And Andrei Lovinchuk from Ukraine qualified yesterday as well during the race in Romania. 3 races remaining, including this one today in Argentina. And then we will unveil in the coming days the last 2 qualifying races. Where will they take place? You can try to bet in the comments. We went to Asia, to South Africa, to Europe, and to South America. Probably you can expect a race in North America and in Asia or in Oceania. You will see that. You can bet in the comments for the next race, the upcoming venue. And then we will meet together again mid-April. So we will see already on March 19th and March 20 for the last 2 races of the qualifier. And then, as I just said, in mid-April, April 16th, the beginning of the Pro Championship for all those guys. We will have 20 pilots. We will fly this crazy event to try to qualify to the World Final in November 2024. Thank you very much, Timothée. We can get back to the race now that we've seen the names of the qualified pilots. As you can see, there are not a lot of pilots from the virtual Sailplane Grand Prix World Final 2023 who qualified to this event. We have only Marcin May, Donna Pierluigi, and maybe 1 or 2 other pilots, but that's it. We need more of those pilots into the Pro Championship, and we are expecting a win from JJJ or Witold Rozak very soon. I didn't see Ben Fest today. I think he's not here.
I don't think so. I didn't saw his competition number on the screen.
Yeah.
And as you said, Joran Yenen, JJJ is flying very safe. This is a great strategy that he decided to do. Felix Newberger, the pilot qualified yesterday, is a bit lower, but it's okay for him. Just chill. Just try to train yourself.
Same for Ronnie Lindell here from
Exactly.
Sweden, obviously.
Yeah.
He wants to go to turn point 2. Why? Because the wind is pushing. He has some headwind now, and if he goes to the left afterwards to the next turn point, the wind is going to be much better for him. So he's like, okay,
Exactly.
I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go low. Anyway, he's already qualified, so he doesn't really care. I mean, he has nothing to lose. he can just win another day, and it's going to be great for him to win another day. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no pressure for him, just casual flying, just training for him. So that's really good. Who is behind? So Ronnie is at 800 meters. I know that we have the group with Vitor Rozak indeed behind and your own. Sean Churchill, Sierra 19 already qualified. 57, I think that's Felix Newberger from yesterday. We qualified. No, so it's Paul Foster,
Foster.
who was really close yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Paul, indeed. So Paul is low, but he has very good pilots next to him, so that's not a big issue. Robin Martinus, he wants to climb before turning that turn point because there are not a lot of options afterwards. We can see one big cumulus, but that's it. Not a lot of options. Where is turn point 3? Maybe you can show the yellow lines. Yep, indeed. No, and the other way one. Yeah, indeed. Turn point
Oh,
3
that
this
looks
way
great.
to
That
Colorado.
looks great to 10.3. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't look bad at least.
There is a highway on the ground and in the sky.
Yeah. So the wind is gonna blow from the right side, going from turn point 2 to turn point 3. It's gonna be really crosswind. No advantage whatsoever, but no headwind, no tailwind. So it's gonna be really good for them to have this leg. And then the arrival is going to be super quick. Between turn point 3 and turn point 4, it's gonna go fast because the wind is gonna push them towards turn point 4, and they will just have enough energy then to turn to the left from the reporting point to the finish line. We are reaching right now with Ronnie Lindell, turn point 2, with the small lake just down below called Chica Laguna, if I'm correct. Laguna Blanca Chica. Muy bien. Muchas gracias, Timote. Y con Chen Churchill, de inglesa. In the SW20, Chen Churchill, who qualified already yesterday. Well done. Congratulations to him. He was a key pilot during the World Final last year. It was really good to have him. We've had interviews with Chen. He's a former national champion in the UK as well. Really, really good pilot who didn't have enough time in real life to fly and to continue flying competitions, which is the case for a lot of people above 30. Paul Foster, right here. We have Davis Chapins from the USA right now in the ASW20 once again. So looks like kind of a monotype class with the ASW20, only a few other gliders, including LS4 and Standard Series. Jeroen Jelen, again, the man, Vitor Rozak, joining the turn point 2, really high, 1,400 meters approximately, so that's quite good. And then it will be a good, he has a good altitude to be able to select the next thermal, I believe, with that cloud street that we've seen. But the cloud street is downwind, so they need to pick, are they going downwind or upwind? So more to the left or to the right. We will see that in just a few minutes from now. Thank you for following us, guys. Please ask your questions in the chat, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We prefer to have you all on Twitch because the quality is much better for you. And to interact, we have a lot of stuff to use. We have bytes, we have subscriptions and so on Twitch. It's much better. So if you can do so, please go to twitch.tv/FAI Virtual Gliding to follow us. Zbigniew Kos from Poland turning right now with Piotr. So turn point 2, and they are going to Colorado. Colorado, Estac. 59.6 kilometers, so roughly 60 kilometers to go from turn point 2 to turn point 3. A very good leg. We have the US pilot Josh Mayers, a really good pilot as well, usually flying in the GS1 or GS3. Josh, And we can see Ronnie Lindell stopping with Sean Churchill and Paul Foster there on the left side.
Mhm.
While we have Josh Meyers with Bisek, Vitolt, and Jeroen Jenen flying straight forwards to turn point 3 Colorado, and they have good options. Alex Oldwitzler joining Sierra 19, Sean Churchill, and we have a big group now with turning this turn point
Ooh.
3.
It is dense behind.
Yeah, there are a lot of pilots who climbed into a very good cumulus. It seems only 10 kilometers away from that turn point. So the race is on. I think everyone can still win. But we see quite some gun pilots in front. So that's interesting to have a close arrival with Jeroen and Vitold, especially.
Yeah, and we can see that famous names are way behind. You can see on the back TKM, Tim Madsen. He was quite low a few minutes ago. I have 10 to 15 minutes ago, and he needed to stop. He made a strong deviation to the route. I think that he knows that he's too late right now to be qualified, to be on the top three. On the left, just behind the turn point right now, we have Jarmo Karjalainen, GKK, same position a few minutes ago, and also Philippe Lata, PLT. The same, they are a bit late tonight for the top three, unfortunately. So, just speaking about strategy on this finish to go to turn point 3 and after that, I did my math. So we have approximately 50 kilometers between the turn point 3 and the arrival.
Okay.
And between the ceiling and our finish altitude, we have approximately 1,500 meters. So they need to have a glide ratio about 30 to go to from turn point 3 to the final the arrival.
Yeah.
But if I were flying tonight, my idea would be to arrive quite low to turn point 3, taking a risk, and then climb after turning the turn point, because after turning the turn point, the wind will help me to go
Yeah.
to the arrival. But it's tricky. If you arrive too low at turn point 3, maybe you will find yourself in a difficult situation in the trap, and you will be like the others, like Yarmo or Tim Madsen. You will take too long time to climb. So the importance of this leg right now is to arrive, not lose too much time climbing in this leg, because you will be faster to climb in the next one.
Yeah.
But this is a strong risk to arrive too low after the turn point 3. But it can pay. It can pay. We will
Yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah. So they have 60 kilometers to go to turn point 3. So they will need to climb at least once, probably at least twice,
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4 times, depending on the weather conditions there and how high they want to be when crossing
Mhm.
the turn point 3. But indeed, after turn point 3, I think you just in one thermal
Yeah,
to
I
climb
guess.
as high as you can, probably, and then you just follow the cloud street if there is one, to try to get more and more energy. I think it's going to be a very interesting arrival, and the best pilot will manage it very well. I'm really looking forward to see that, because I think the win will depend on the way the pilots manage the final glide. I think that's going to be the really the key for the day.
Obviously. And if you are discovering flying gliders in competitions like that, you have to know that I took the time with my small paper sheet and with my pen to do the math. But when you are flying, you need to calculate this type of informations to know and to adapt the
Your
decision and your
strategy, and yeah,
strategy during the flight. Obviously, right now we have some computers, some PDA in flight that gives this information instantaneously, but it does not avoid us to think, to be focused on the strategy and to think a lot during the flights. And I think that's what we love the most during flying gliders, and that's what we found it back in Condor, just as the real life. This is fantastic to do so.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Jean-David. That's probably the best sport in the world, and it's a must try in virtual or real life. It's a good thing to discover, at least. We are with Nico in 3 November, 184 kilometers per hour. So now we're gonna have again quite good um, speeds for the pilots in transition in between the thermals. I can see right in front of us Witold Rozak taking a thermal with Josh and Jeroen. And I think Nico will just glide towards this small group of leaders to try to get a good advantage and a good lift here. Kuba, our friend Kuba from
Look,
Poland is
Kuba.
there in the welcome back. That's it. That's what you wanted to say.
Oh no, I didn't thought about that, Antoine. Oh, you are that
Welcome back,
tired.
Kuba. Welcome back in the race. Among the leaders, Kuba probably wants to qualify as well to the Pro Championship. Great guy from Poland. He competed to the World Final 2023 as well. That's good to see him here. We have Tet behind. So 3 November we were with him. He's joining right now this thermal.
And we have a message in the YouTube chat from Mark who designed the task. Thank you, Mark. We have to take the time to thank you for all of these amazing races. And he asked us if we can display the average speed right now to have an average.
Ah,
Okay,
good.
that's better than previously.
So it was at around 140 to
Yeah.
150 kph like 40 minutes ago after turn point one, but obviously the pilot slowed down quite drastically between turn point one and turn point two with some headwind. It was much more difficult for them to move forward, and now we are with the wind blowing from the right side of the track, so really crosswind, and they managed to get an average of around 110 kph. So indeed, with the final glide, I expect 120, 25, or 30 at least kilometers per hour for the winners of today. Thank you very much, Timothy.
I think Mark is really interested into the average values because he tried his own task before sending us. He said muchas gracias on the chat. You're welcome.
De nada, amigo.
De nada, amigo. And even if he's not able to fly it because he designed the task, I think behind the screen he's trying to see himself as the world champion compared his speed to the flying speed right now.
Yeah, and Marky is a really good pilot as well, just like
Oh
Michel
yeah.
and others who are working on the FAI virtual gliding project. Yes, we cannot race, but a lot of pilots among this group are flying almost daily on Condor and have a very strong experience and a very strong level on the game. So we would all love to be there, but we no one can do both when you're involved. That's why Benfest is not working yet with us on this event. But if it doesn't qualify, I expect some of the pilots not qualifying to come and join the project for the end of the year and to be able to comment the race with us and so on as well. Andrei, who qualified yesterday, the Ukrainian pilots. So we are flying very close to a city here. I don't remember the name anymore, but it was
This is
something like
Olavaria.
Olavaria. Exactly,
And
Olavaria.
I am quite surprised to see how the pilots are spread
Yeah.
actually, because I thought that there will be close to the task and close to the track, but in fact there is multiple communities interesting, I guess. And okay, the pilots on the west, so they decided to go there because the wind will push them during the climb. So very interesting position for Golf, Gvidas, and the other is Oscar. Is it Frank? It looks
Yeah,
like.
it's Frank Schwetzweger in Oscar Niner. So another route, and it's gonna cross Villa Miserania, muy cerca de Loma Negra. Muy bien.
It will be much more easier for me when it will be in Germany or in France, obviously.
In Germany, I'm not sure for you. Huh?
I will try. I will try.
That's very interesting because you can see in 2D and 3D, but the way the cities
Mm.
are built in Argentina is it looks kind of the same as in North America as well, with all the streets really squared, and that's really funny to witness.
You
I would
can
say
play.
it was not the same yesterday in Romania.
No,
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 sorry, I just slapped you, Jean-David.
no, no problem. You are behind. Yeah, when I saw the city and how it is made, I thought myself that we can play chess just on Google Map.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we can do that. Maybe.
So
So
I have a private message that asks us what is exactly the task of tonight and what it is all about. This. So maybe Tim, you can unzoom a bit because I will try to resume. So here we are on the first race who is used to qualify the pilots for the Pro Championship of the first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship. So it is virtual flying. We are on Condor tonight. This fourth qualifier, it takes place in Argentina. We are flying a 205 kilometers task. And the pilots are right now between the turn point 2 and they are going to turn point 3 before going back on the airport. Maybe we can have a look at the 3D to see the weather and different gliders that are flying tonight. We are in a region in Argentina where it is just flatlands, and we have
yeah,
some cumuluses. Very interesting climb rates tonight between, I guess, 3.5 to 4.5, something like that. Really, really interesting. And they are going fast to 10.3 just before the finish. So tonight, just as each race of the qualifying sessions, there are only 3 pilots qualified. So the top 3 pilots will be qualified for the Pro Championship. There has been already 3 races, so 9 pilots qualified. Tonight, 3 other places, and we will have 2 more races in end of March to be qualified for the Pro Championship. If you have any question, Bastien, you can ask us. We will be really happy to answer.
thought this was a private question.
Yeah, so Bastien is a friend of mine. He's flying in north of France, in Lille, and he's working on his PhD thesis. So I know that moments are not that great.
Not an easy, not easy
So,
life right now.
so enjoy the live, Bastien, and be strong forever.
Stay strong. Davis Chapins from the USA who climbed really, really well in that one. Alex Oldwitzer in Alpha Echo X-ray is just below. And he's leaving now the thermal. What's interesting there is that he took a really different route from Jeroen, Vitol Rozak, and the leading group. So maybe they will join together and merge the two groups in a few minutes before turn point 3. We have Ronnie Lindell as well to the left of the track, while Oscar Niner and JJJ are on the right of the track. Thomas Meyer in Mike Yankee Romeo, just on top of my head right here. The pilot from Hungary, flying straight ahead. He almost qualified to a race, I think it was in China. They are really widely spread. We have small groups now in front of the race, but they are still widely spread. Like we have quite a few groups, but behind, I have the feeling that behind this leading pilots, the group are more condensed and flying together, like I think like you can see behind. With TKM 269, the guys who fell a little bit behind now they are flying together
Mhm.
to try to catch up the guys in front of them.
I don't know how many times the pilots right here has stopped to climb, but I think that it is more than I was expecting. I thought that they were stopping just 1 to 2 times, but on the 2D view, I saw multiple points of climbing.
Yeah,
So yeah, maybe
probably
they are
four
also,
times. With
yeah,
60 kilometers, probably you need to stop 4 times so that you don't go too low because you
exactly.
know that the next leg is going to be super important. And they don't have that much options as well. And I
Mhm.
think they realize that every time you go low, then
Yeah,
you're falling behind because they've seen Philippe 57 and quite a few pilots like this in front of them who were on top falling because they were just going too low. So now they are dropping behind, so you need to be careful when you go low. And I think now the pilots are really aware of this situation.
yeah.
Bisset Kos is trying to climb because I've seen the flaps out, almost fully out, to slow down and to try to get the thermal and stay in it. Nico is climbing there as well. Not easy. It's not easy. Still not easy with the crosswind here. But come on, the weather conditions are still quite good. In club class, they are flying probably now at 120 kph average, around that number, 115 maybe. So that's still quite a good number with
Mhm.
only 1,400 meters of ceiling above ground level. So that's interesting. We have Ronnie Lindell pulling into a good variometer, and now he will continue.
Yeah, he's continuing. We are in the middle of leg 3, so they have approximately 30 kilometers to turn point 3.
So roughly 80 kilometers to go to the finish line right now.
Yeah, exactly. Zbigniew is taking risk. He's ahead of the others, but yeah, going down to 900 meters, it may be time to get up and to climb. Just as Antoine said a few minutes ago, they have the information that the pilots who went low a few minutes ago are not that great. They took too long time
Yeah.
to climb. So I would have done the same below 900, 800. It is really time to climb. And Frank and the others, I think it is a good one. The varimeters are not below 1, 2 meters. Okay, they are working on it to be right in the center and to optimize the climb rate. But at the same time, other pilots like Joran Jenen, Witold Rozak, and the last one I can't see the name, are passing just on the side way higher. Thank you, team. Mike X-Ray, Mikko Niominen in his ASW20.
Tim, can we get back to the 2D view very quickly with the Zermatt view of the entire race? Yeah, perfect like this. So a question from Willie on Twitch. What is the task for today? We explained it a few minutes ago, but we are going to go through it again. The pilot started next to the city of Azul. We are in Argentina for a flatland race in club class. So a lot of ASW20 flying today.
Mhm.
The weather, you've seen it. Weather is quite good. Strong thermals up to 1,400 meters above ground level. But the wind is roughly around 30 kph, blowing from the southwest. So that's not easy on some of the legs. First leg was going from Azul to Show Estación. Then from turn point one to turn point two, we had roughly 70 kilometers, and we went to the lake, Laguna Blanca Chica. Then from turn point two to turn point three, we have 60 kilometers to Colorado. Then from turn point 3 to turn point 4 to the back to the north, close to the airfields. So turn point 4 is the reporting point. Azul, B Partida. We are 41.6 kilometers, and then 7.6 kilometers from the reporting point that you see very close here, the reporting point to the finish line, so 7.6 kilometers right there. So 205 kilometers in flatlands today, and we are more than halfway through the task. The pilots are approaching turn point 3, and then the wind will help them to get quickly to the finish line. So we expect the last thermal in the upcoming minutes. So in the next few minutes from now. Stephen Hill in the ASW20, really well placed now. And we have two different group of pilots, one to the left side of the track, one to the right side, or north and south side, depending on how you look at it. The wind is blowing from the right now, just there for about 30 kph, so it's not easy, but it's only crosswind, so it's much easier than the previous leg. And yeah, as I said, it's going to be downwind for the next one, and it's going to help them a lot to get to that reporting point and then the finish line. Stephen Hill, NDS W20, 135 kph flown, so only 70 kilometers to fly for Stephen. Wow, really the pilots are widely spread, really widely spread. They are flying one after the other and so on. We have two groups, but one after the other. They are not that condensated.
Yeah, and we have to say again the challenges for tonight, because there are 90 pilots connected on the servers, but only 3 pilots will be qualified tonight for the Pro Championship.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we have GGG, so the first pilot right now. Joran, for example, he participated to the race number 1 and 2 and was ranked 6 and 4. So he tried twice, and twice he was close to the qualification, but unfortunately there were too much great pilots for him. And tonight he's fighting so hard to be qualified.
Yeah.
But he's playing very, very well. We hope the best for him for the next few minutes of the race.
Yeah, and why are we talking about him? Because basically he was the virtual winner of the race in China, if I'm correct. But he got penalties because he missed the finish line. He flew below the minimum altitude, and he got plenty of penalties. So he missed the top 3 spots. So that's why he ended on the 4th place. So that's why we're talking a lot about him,
On the
because
6th place in China.
yeah, even on the 6th place, exactly. So we are talking a lot about him because he deserved to be in that Pro Championship, but he failed because of the rules that we have, the safety rules that we make, and he understood this mistake, and for sure now he's fighting to make it work and come back here. And otherwise, it would be a good lesson for him in the future to qualify next time. So we'll see what happens.
In South Africa, it was terrible too, because during the live streaming, he ranked 3rd, so he was qualified. But on another server, the Canadian pilot Ryan Wood took the 1st place, and then he dropped down to the 4th place, and he wasn't qualified the day after. So it was a terrible day and a terrible night for him. But this time is your moment, Jan.
Yeah, exactly. He thought that it was okay. It was good after race 2, indeed. But next day you realize, here we go again.
When you see the final score in the late afternoon, this is the emotional damage.
Yeah, that's it.
You saw the entire day that you were qualified, but finally you aren't. That's too difficult.
So we have straight routes to turn point 3 right now. You can see the pilots climbing, and you can see the drift from the wind pushing from the southwest right here, and you can see all the thermals and the drift from the pilots here. So you can see that the wind is really strong to have such a drift, and then they need to go back again to the good track to take the good track to
Yeah,
or the
obviously.
good bearing to the turn point. So that's really funny to follow tonight. And yeah, then it's going to be much easier. We have some pilots at 1,700 meters. I've seen Zulu Bravo Yankee there. Wow, I was blind for a second there. I almost lost my medical with that.
Sorry, guys.
Back in the race with Josh Meyers in the SW20. Kuba, turning left or right? Okay, Josh, he was like, okay, that seems unsafe, and I think he's correct. So he left. And now they are all turning left. So that's good. But that wasn't the case a few seconds ago. I see three November with turning to the right, and I think that causes a big issue. Yeah, Uwe Meltzer has seen it as well, so he will try to pay attention to that. Stephen Hill, really well placed. Can you tell us more about Stephen, Jean-David?
I will look for it in a few minutes.
I bet a pilot from the UK, but I want to be sure about it.
Oh, looks like, yeah.
If he wins this one, really well placed. We have Ronnie Lindell doing a super great flight. Ronnie from Sweden, so congratulations to him already because he's
Mm.
leading the race just before turn point 3. Davis Chapman flying super well. Josh Meyers as well. So the pilots from the US are flying very well tonight.
Yeah, and
Well
Stefan
done, guys.
Hill hasn't luck during the first 3 races because he flown each race until now. But he just finished the second one in South Africa, where he ranked 80. So this is not
Okay.
that great. On the first race, he ranked 92, 80 on the second, and 78 on the third. So maybe it will be the best performance of uh, of Stefan tonight. At least he's flying really well because he is well placed at this time.
Yeah. So he's indeed from the UK.
Yeah, great flight until now.
Ronnie Lindell joining and turning the turn point 3
Yeah.
in
So,
just a few seconds after 153 kilometers so far.
and just to say to other viewers, so Ronnie Linez is already qualified. Don't forget that. He can win tonight, but he won't be qualified the second time. The place to be qualified will be a drop down of 1 position. So the pilot qualified will be 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
If there is no other pilots already qualified in the top 4.
Yeah, exactly. So Ronnie Lindell from Sweden here, 1,100 meters, turning turn point 3, and you can see the drift from the winds. He had to turn to the right again to be able to join the turn point. Well done, Ronnie. That's a good point for today to turn that one. Davis Chapins at 950 meters, slowing down before turning this turn point. Ralph Sipker in Mike 3, the ASW20 as well. Frank Schwetzfeger from Germany at 700 meters. So he's kind of doing what you said, Jean-David. He's trying to fly, to turn this turn point low, to take a risk, to then try to get a thermal downwind and to try to beat the others by taking this risk. Josh Meyers, much higher, 1,030 meters. Will we have anyone? 1,350 meters for Jeroen. Very, very well placed, Jeroen. Actually, I wondered if we would have someone at 1,300 or 1,500. We have already one answer with Jeroen. We have Viton Rozak and Kuba just behind. So that's going to be really close in between all of those pilots that we see right now. I think that this top
Yeah.
15 here can still win. I think it's going to be more difficult for the guys behind, but up to Thomas Meyer here in Mike Yankee Romeo, I think all of them can win. We have 50 kilometers to go.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
correct?
you can just show us more the side view with longer trails to see approximately who are the pilots who turn higher. Maybe it's a bit difficult, but here we have 50 kilometers to go to the finish
Yeah,
line.
yeah, exactly, Timothée. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah,
Yeah, so your
130
own, yeah,
1,300 meters was about the highest altitude when turning the turn point.
yeah.
So your own is really, really right place right now, as well as Witold Rozak and Mike X-Ray. So Mike X-Ray, do you have his name, Antoine? Can't remember.
Mike, I think it's Mikko Nurminen from, yeah,
Yeah, Mikko
from
Nieminen, sorry, from
Finland.
Finland. Sorry,
He's
Mikko.
flying really well, Mikko.
Exactly.
I think he was competing to the first world final, if I'm correct, but I need to check again. I
Yeah,
think.
I think his name. I can't remember
Reminds you
his
of
name.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 3 years ago already. His first world final in Saint-Omer in France. Looks like some good
So
cumuluses in France.
so
And
they have at
was
least,
okay.
yeah, they have 40 kilometers to go. They are only they are only 850 meters above the finish altitude. So they need to take one thermal at least, or they can fly really slow, but I think it's not the option because they are flying 210 kilometers per hour on the ASW20. I don't think that they will manage to have a 30 to 40 glide ratio. Yeah, this is not the objective. Yaron, the others are stopping.
Yeah, I think it's good to stop. If you are on top of everyone, maybe it's good to stop because then you can indeed take your risk. And now is the time to take a risk to lead and to win the day. So if he stops here and he's on top of everyone, maybe he can manage much better than the others, the arrival towards the finish line. And it looks like a pretty decent one as well, with a
Okay.
stable maybe 3 meters per second or even more for Jeroen. Mikko, when you look at the circle, you can see that the thermal is quite strong and that they climb quite well. Everyone is joining them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be the big fight.
Everything is going right now. And
Wow! Look at the altitude from Witold Rozak on the left, and you will see it's at least 3 to
this is
4
crazy.
meters per second.
And don't forget at this time not to climb too much because we saw during the previous races that the pilots who were higher, they decided to stay in the thermal, and at the end
Yeah.
they don't have the time to catch up even if they were faster. The pilot just a bit lower arrived a few seconds before.
Yeah,
So be
because
careful.
they left the thermal a little bit earlier, and
Exactly.
the guys who stayed longer in the thermal, they never had the time indeed to catch up the pilots who left the thermal maybe 1 or 2 turns before, which is quite surprising sometimes. But yeah, they lost too much time and they played super well, those guys. So Jeroen, I think he will go up to the top and he will get around 28, maybe 27 of glide ratio needed to go to the finish line. We will see that, and I think it's going to be easy to achieve that with all the cumuluses and the good uh, lift that he will find on his way. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
making it to the top. No chance, no chance
Yeah.
in making that. Yeah. Now is the time for Jeroen to take the lead and
Obviously.
to try to do his magic, I think.
And looking at his strategy during the entire race, I think he wouldn't have made the mistake to wait too long in the thermal.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you are higher and seeing the others like Miko or Vitold going, you know that it's time to go. And I think he wouldn't have done this mistake, and he didn't. So great strategy from Joran. He just need to fly the great speed, maybe a bit slower than the others to manage his altitude and his energy better than everyone else. But doing the math right here, I think that they are on final glide quite easily.
Yeah, can you zoom in just a few seconds on your own, please, Timothée, just to get a view before the finish with him. Thank you. So we are going to turn point 4 right in front of us, and we have some very good cumuluses here to get some extra energy before reaching the finish line. We are approaching the final moments of the race right now. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the 2D view for a small recap of the race. What's going on, Jean-David?
We went blind just a few minutes, just a few seconds ago, but we are on the 2D view again. Thank you, Tim. So maybe, Tim, you can just unzoom a bit, but I think you are focused on Condor. So we are, thank you, on this final leg before the reporting point of this race. So this is the fourth race of the qualifier sessions. We've flown 205 kilometers task tonight, and the pilots are on the final glide for the first one, are on the final glide to the finish, which is approximately 35 kilometers away from them right now. 3 pilots will be qualified tonight, and there will be 2 more races to qualify, or hoping being qualified, for the Pro Championship. And the next races will be in different continents than we've already made. We will see in a few days where it will be. We will release the continent and the country and the landscape later on to keep the surprise, obviously. 3 pilots are well placed. It is Joran Jenen, Mikko Nieminen, and Witold Rozak. None of them is qualified already, and they are fighting for the top 3 places, hoping to be qualified tonight. It will be a great relief knowing that you are qualified after hard work and hard race with the top of the world pilots fighting at each race, and you run exactly right there is great. So at this moment of the race, maybe you can send us messages on different chats. You can bet who is gonna win, but we are speaking about the top 3. You need to name all the top 3 pilots to try to be to have the great bets. And on the chat, we have a first message of a Flying Squirrel who asked, do you think Condor skills translate well into real life gliding skills? I have one history. Maybe Julien Lietard is not watching us tonight because I know that he's flying on our on North of France server, and I know him on virtual life, and I ask him, but why are you not flying in real life? Because I'm an instructor, you are flying well in Condor, maybe you can join us in the real life. And he was one of my students, and I have to admit that I have not a lot of things to learn to him, because he already knows what to do, turning right, left, where to see, watching the horizon, the canopy, etc. He knows a lot of things, how to be in the space, etc. And the first lessons, I have to admit, that almost half of the training has been really, really well done by Julien, by himself on Condor. You have plenty of tutorials on it to learn how to manage your command, etc. So it is a really, really good thing to try.
Yeah,
At least for flying.
it is a very good tool, and it's used for training purposes in a lot of countries, including the UK, France, in the US as well. There are a lot of Condor simulators with homemade simulators in the gliding clubs, and it's actually officially used for training, and
Yes.
especially indeed for the first flights. It's really good because, for example, instead of writing on a whiteboard what's going to be the lesson of the day, you can just jump into the simulator and explain to the student what we're going to do this afternoon in real life. So you jump. Some simulators have virtual goggle VR headsets to be able to understand the atmosphere that you may feel in the afternoon, because especially the first flight in real life can be very disturbing for you, and it's difficult to then focus on the lesson. So it's very nice to start via Condor and to discover the game and the sport like this. And it's Condor is a simulator. It's not a video game, and it's very similar to the real life. And we are flying Condor 2 now, but Condor 3 is coming very soon. Great for the student to practice towing and so on, exactly.
Obviously,
And
yeah.
it's a goal as well for us to reduce the CO2 emissions to train on the simulator first, because we don't want people to take off with a tow and then just release at 200 meters to do just a small circuit to learn how to land. You can first learn that in the simulator, and once you get all your uh, all your standards up, then you can try in real life and do the job, and you will see it's much easier, and it saves a lot of money as well, not only the atmosphere. So it's a really good thing. We have, I will throw that in the chat in a few seconds. We have an affiliate link to buy Condor that helps us, that helps you as well. And if you buy Condor 2 right now, the simulator that you're seeing now, you will get Condor 3 for free as well in the coming weeks or month, but I hope weeks to get the release of Condor 3. So don't worry if you buy Condor 2 today. Let's get back to the race with Jeroen Jenen leading the race, and I will show you that in a few seconds for the link.
Yeah, so Jeroen Jenen is well placed again. He's the first pilot I think, because I don't know where the two contenders behind. He's at 700 meters, going 210 kilometers per hour, and he has just 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers to go to finish this race. So it is good for him. The qualification looks great. Hoping for him that he does not make mistake during the start or during the finish. Be careful, because you can have some penalties that takes a lot of places. So Joran, be careful. Just behind him, we have Mikko Nurminen. Mikko is following very closely, and after that we have Vito Drozak. Maybe Timothy, if you can show us the two pilots behind, Mikko Nurminen and Vito Drozak following, and Jarnon just a few kilometers away. Thank you, team. So yeah, you can see Mikko and Vitold approximately the same amount of energy, following closely and fighting for the second and the third place. Behind him, Kilo Juliet, F and Fox 1. But let's back to Johan. Johan, who is turning the reporting point of this qualifiers number 4 in Argentina. Well done, Johan.
Well done.
This is it. No mistake, and you are it. You may be qualified. The other gliders behind, Mikko Nurminen, also an ASW20, is arriving, turning the turn points for the reporting point in second place. Just after him, Vito Drozak, the Polish pilot, flying close and going to the finish line.
Well done, Vitold. I think that's a really good top three.
Yeah.
Really good top three, and Kuba is really good as well. I think the top 5 is going to be amazing, and even if there are some penalties, I think we'll have great pilots for the Pro Championship with those guys joining. Difficult task today, even if there were some strong conditions. It's not easy to be able to lead the race among 100 pilots. So well done to all of them, and especially to the top 10. Josh Meyers, you need to be at 180 meters
Exactly.
minimum.
And
So
what is
to
very
the left.
interesting is
Yeah.
that the top 5 pilots right now have the same glider. So that means that the handicap is the same. And in this top 5, approximately, we won't have handicap scoring that will change and reshuffle everything. So the scoring in this server should be the score we can see right now.
Exactly, Jean-David. So the handicaps should not impact so far the results. We should wait until at least the top 10 to wait to see if there are some LS4s coming in. So we will follow, I think, at least 10 to 15 arrivals at
Okay.
least before leaving you, so that we make sure that the people joining in are not LS4s, to make sure that the scoring looks more or less okay there, to give you a preliminary results, and then we need to wait for the servers tonight and the official results tomorrow. Jeroen Jenen from Belgium finally getting his place to the Pro Championship. He needs to cross at 180 meters, and he knows that perfectly. I'm sure he will not be below that altitude. He made the mistake already, so he will remember that. He will pull right now. Well done. Congratulations, Jeroen.
Perfect. Congrats.
You qualified, I believe, to the Pro Championship. Mikko Nurminen from Finland is getting back in the game. A very, very good pilot who competed to the first Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix World Final in 2021. Is the next Finnish pilot to compete to the Pro Championship. Well done.
Oh, well
You
done. Great
probably
flight, Nico.
qualify. And Witold Rozak, second place at the first Virtual World Sailplane Grand Prix in 2021. Congratulations, Witold.
What
A
a flight,
very,
guys.
very good top three. Very good top three tonight. We need to check the penalties and the other savers. Kuba from Poland as well. Very good flying, a very good pilot. Congratulations to him. Wish him the very best. Maybe if there are some penalties in front, he will get into the top three. We will need to check that. Well done, Kuba.
Yeah.
And the pilots can land straight ahead. Arne Martin Göttler finally in the top five. Well done, Arne Martin, the world champion 2023. The pilot from Norway, flying both in real life and virtual. Sean Churchill, who
My
came
goodness.
second yesterday and qualified already to the Pro Championship, is there. Next to him, that's a great arrival we're following.
Oh, yeah.
Quite cool. And that's the Baleka, if I'm correct, livery.
Ooh, Uwe Melzer, just behind.
And Uwe Melzer, the German pilots. That's great. They are fighting until the end, even though they know that only the top three qualifies. You never know with the penalties. They are
It's just
fighting
for
until the
fun.
end. Yeah, they will pull up. They all know they are really good pilots. They know the rules. Sean
Wow.
Churchill is pulling already. Uwe Melzer, he may get on top of them.
Oh, easy.
Look at that. Well done, Uwe.
Oh, no,
Ah,
no,
Arne
not big
Martin
enough.
before. I think Arne Martin before.
Oh, the
Ah,
Top Gun arrival.
oh, yeah, he pulled up too much. Pulled up too much. Tamas Meyer just behind. Well done, Tamas.
Well done, Thomas.
Crossing the finish line. They can all land straight ahead. Davis Chepins from the USA. A very good flight tonight for Davis. 180 meters. That's good enough. And you can land straight ahead. Ronnie Lindell from Sweden. He made a very good flight. Well done, Ronnie. He qualified already to the Pro Championship. So to the next phase of this first FAI Virtual World Gliding Championship. Zoltan Varga qualified as well. I'm happy to see you there.
They confirmed that they are great pilot, and on
Yeah.
multiple races they are able to top score at each time. Really interesting. Peter, really well done by Peter. I know that it is his best performance
wow.
until now.
Yeah,
So,
Zbisek is coming in. Yeah, Peter in 3 November, correct? Or not? I've seen 3 November.
In Papa 94,
Okay.
I guess.
We have Triple J there. Golf,
Yeah.
golf, golf.
Yeah.
Alex Solwinster, Whiskey Romeo, Piotr, Rick Vandenbauer. Thank you. Robert Hogan. Robert Hogan.
Another
We've
rival.
seen him quite a lot. We know him from the Condor community. Andrei, who qualified yesterday, the Ukrainian pilot. Inigo Redin, right here. We've seen him last year, I think, in the World Series 2023. Lima Sierra Sandor, we know him as well very well. Mike Juliet. Behind, we have 57 as well. Quite a lot of very good pilots. Maybe we can watch one or two straight-ins approach to the runway behind us. you will see maybe one or two landings before we leave you here.
And we have multiple messages on the chats. Julien Lietard, my Belgian friend, say hello to you. Go go go, JJJ. Your chat is qualified. They have also private messages from Guillaume and etc. That said congrats to Joran. Some Belgium friends having really so much fun to see the race, and happy to see a Belgian pilot qualified tonight. Or we don't know. There is two more servers to go, but we can see that it is a great flight, and we hope for him that he's qualified. Norman, as always, awesome commentary. Thank you all for the work. Ben said, congrats, well done to all. Mark Thiel says something in Spanish. I can't spell it.
He wants the average speeds in Spanish.
Okay,
The
and
average
Peter
speed. So
say,
we need to have a look to the left. So 100. That's perfect. That's what you guessed, Mark. So congratulations.
congrats.
123 kilometers per hour average for the winner, Jeroen Jenen, today. So well done for that. That's what he calculated with all his tables. Thank you. And the
Oh,
last one, Jean-David, last
yeah.
comment.
Yeah, Peter say, given how much I dislike flat task, this was surprisingly good. Yeah, but that's the job of Mark to design it so well.
You can say thank you to
And
Mark.
you can
That's for
say thank
sure.
you to Mark. So even if our next race will be in flatlands, Peter, you can join us, and you will may be happy to fly in flatlands
Again.
again. Yeah,
You need to discover all type of weather. I think we may have maybe one race with a little bit of waves so that we cover all the spectrum of thermal ridges and waves and the and uplift you can find in the gliding world. Jean-David, what do you want to say to close that race 4 of the qualifiers?
yeah. At the end, this race in Argentina was really good. We saw different strategies. Maybe some pilots decided to go too low at the beginning of this race, and it was the over for them. But some of the other pilots managed very well their altitude and which cumulus and which thermal to take to be on top at each cumulus, and it was really great. Your run did it so well that it was obviously you need to win tonight. So it was too
Yeah.
clever, too smart flying tonight for him, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I think he was the master of the strategy tonight, and he took very good decisions. We followed him along the race, and it was really well done. Very happy for the pilots following him as well. Very good names, big names in the Condor community as well. So it's very good, obviously for the event, and it's very good to see them at this level as well. They didn't lose anything over the years.
Obviously,
So
yeah.
so thank you, thanks a lot to everyone for following us for the past 2 days in Romania and in Argentina. It was really great. We will see you. Maybe we can have a look quickly at the next races with the big table there, so that we have the correct dates. So we will see you in 15 days, more or less from now, on March 19th, for a flight in Oceania or North America, and on March 20, obviously, for the last two races. And then we will have an event on the 2 and 3rd of April, but that has to be announced later on, and that will be something interesting to follow, as from 16th of April, the Pro Championships, you will get the 20 best pilots from the qualifiers flying there for this crazy championship. No more one shot, but an overall ranking that seems to be very promising. And I'm really looking forward to unveil all the details from the Pro Championship. So thank you very much for following us tonight. We leave you with that big nice screen in the studio. Thank you, Timothée. I'll leave you the last words, Jean-David. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone behind your screen. Thank you, Timothy, for the technical stuff. Thank you, Mark, for the task, and thank you everyone who work on the project, like Sebastian, etc. Thank you, Antoine. Thank you all. See you on March 19th.
Muchas gracias. Buenas noches.